Welcome to the Baboom Baboom podcast, your go-to source for expert tips on car stereo installation, vehicle wiring, and all things wiring related. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, we've got the advice to help you power up your ride. Get ready to crank up the volume on your knowledge and make your next wiring project a success.
All right, DIY friends, let's brighten things up. Ever feel like your space needs a little refresh? Like maybe swapping out that old light fixture for something a bit more you?
It's crazy how much a new light fixture can really transform a room.
Right, it's like instant impact. So today we're going to dig into everything you need to know to tackle a light fixture installation yourself.
We're diving deep into a super handy guide from our friends over at Baboom Baboom.
They've got all the steps laid out, and we're here to break it down, make it crystal clear, and help you rock this DIY with confidence.
And most importantly, safely.
Couldn't agree more. Safety first, always. So let's jump right in. Baboom Baboom kicks things off with a pretty crucial step that I think sometimes people like to skip over.
The prep work.
Yeah, getting everything together before you even think about touching a screwdriver.
It's tempting to just jump in and get going.
Okay.
But trust me, having all your tools and materials prepped and ready to go makes the whole process so much smoother.
So true. Like imagine getting halfway through the installation and realizing, oh, you're missing a crucial tool.
Been there.
Yeah.
Done that. Not fun.
The worst. So Baboom has this really handy checklist of everything you'll need. It's like going on a DIY treasure hunt. What are some of the must-have items we're on the lookout for?
Well, first up, you got to have your trusty screwdrivers, both flathead and Phillips.
Yep. Can't forget those. Got to be prepared for anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got our wire strippers.
I mean, the name alone just screams DIY pro, right?
Right. And, of course, for any electrical work, you're going to want a voltage tester.
Okay, voltage tester. Talk to me about this one, because I'll be honest, I always get a little intimidated by anything electrical.
I feel you. But think of the voltage tester as your safety net. It's like the measured twice, cut once rule. But for electricity, it's going to confirm that the power is off before you even touch a wire.
So it's like that extra layer of reassurance.
Exactly. We'll talk more about how to use it a bit later.
And then, of course, we've got the usual suspects like a tape measure, a level.
You know, I actually use my level for all sorts of things around the house.
Yeah. It's not just for DIY. It's great for hanging pictures, making sure furniture isn't wobbly. It's a multitasker for sure.
Totally.
Okay, so we've got our tools gathered. Now let's talk about the importance of safety. And I'm not just talking about wearing your safety goggles, although you should definitely do that too.
Absolutely. Eye protection is key.
Yeah.
But you're right. When it comes to electrical work, safety is non-negotiable.
We are not messing around with live wires, people. Baboom is very clear about this. Turn off the power at the breaker box.
And we're not talking about just flicking a light switch here. This is about going straight to the source and cutting off the electrical current entirely.
Exactly. It's like, would you work on your car with the engine still running?
Probably not a good idea.
Definitely not. So turning off the power at the breaker box eliminates any chance of getting an unexpected shock.
Right. And this is where our trusty voltage tester comes back into play. Even after you flip the breaker, you want to double-check those wires at the fixture to make absolutely sure there's no power running through them.
So it's like that extra layer of reassurance.
Exactly. Better safe than sorry.
Okay, so we've got our tools, we've turned off the power, and double-checked with the voltage tester. What's next?
Time to say goodbye to that old fixture.
Out with the old, in with the new, right?
Exactly. Baboom Baboom walks us through the removal process, but they make a really good point that's often overlooked.
Ooh, I love insider tips. Tell me more.
They stress the importance of really paying attention to how the wires are connected on the old fixture before you disconnect anything.
Ah, so it's like taking a picture for reference later.
Exactly. It's going to be your roadmap for when you install the new fixture. It ensures everything gets hooked up correctly.
Love it. A wiring roadmap. Okay, so we've carefully observed our wiring, and now it's time to say farewell to that old fixture. How do we proceed from here?
Well, Baboom Baboom uses a really great analogy. They compare it to like archaeological work. You got to be careful and gentle, like you're handling some ancient artifact.
I love that. So we're like DIY Indiana Joneses, carefully excavating our light fixtures.
Exactly. You want to make sure you don't damage anything in the process. Now, before we get to the fun part of actually installing the new fixture, there's one more essential detail that Baboom Baboom covers.
Okay, lay it on me.
Wire gauge. Have you ever heard that before?
Wire gauge. I feel like I've heard it, but I'm not going to lie. I've always kind of glossed over it. Like, how important can it really be?
You'd be surprised. It's actually super important for making sure your new fixture is safe and works properly.
Need top-quality electrical wire? Baboom Baboom's got you covered. Get your 6-pack today. Each combo comes in 6 different colors and a total of 600 feet of wire. Perfect for any project, and you won't find a better price in the industry. Head over to baboombaboom.com now to snag yours. That's baboombaboom.com.
Basically, it refers to the thickness of the wire.
Okay, so thicker wire, thinner wire. What's the big difference?
Well, think of it like this. You wouldn't use a tiny straw to deliver water to your washing machine, right?
That would take forever.
Exactly. Different gauges of wire can handle different amounts of electrical current. So using the wrong gauge could be dangerous.
Okay, so I get the analogy, but how do I know which wire gauge is right for my light fixture? Like, I'm not an electrician.
Don't worry, you don't have to be. Baboom, Baboom has you covered. They have this really helpful table in their guide that shows the relationship between wire gauge and how much power it can handle. For most standard light fixtures, 14-gauge wire is going to be your go-to.
Okay, 14 gauge, got it. But what if I have something a little more heavy duty, like a chandelier with a million bulbs?
Good question. For anything more powerful than your average light fixture, like a chandelier or maybe some outdoor lighting, you'd want to go with a thicker wire, like a 12-gauge.
So basically, thicker wire equals more power. Got it.
Exactly. And it's super important to get this right. Using the wrong gauge could overheat the wires and even start a fire.
Okay, definitely don't want that.
Yeah.
So we've disconnected the old fixture. We've deciphered the mysteries of wire gauge. Can we install the new light already? I'm ready for the fun part.
Almost. First,
Yeah.
we got to talk about the mounting bracket.
The what now? Is that another one of those technical terms I should know?
It's not as complicated as it sounds. It's basically the base that attaches to your ceiling and holds the new fixture in place.
Oh, okay. So it's like the foundation for the whole thing.
Exactly. Baboom Baboom stresses how important it is to make sure this bracket is securely attached and totally level. The last thing you want is your beautiful new light fixture slowly tilting toward the floor.
Yeah, that would not be a good look, especially after all this hard work. So we want to make sure it's nice and secure.
Exactly. Now, once the bracket is up, it's time to tackle the wiring. This is where some people get a little nervous, but Baboom breaks it down into really easy steps.
I'm all about easy steps. What's step 1?
Remember that wiring roadmap we created earlier? This is where it comes in handy. Typically, we'll have 3 wires to connect black, white, and green, or sometimes bare copper instead of green.
Okay, I'm picturing my roadmap. What do I do with all these colorful wires?
Think of it like a color-coded puzzle. Black, or sometimes red, is your hot wire, white is neutral and green, or bare copper is ground.
So black to black, white to white, green to green.
You got it. Baboom recommends using wire nuts to connect them.
Wire nuts. Are those as cute as they sound?
Maybe not. They're these little plastic caps that twist onto the ends of the wires and keep them connected securely.
Okay, so we're basically giving our wires a little electrical hug with these wire nuts.
Exactly. And once the wires are all hugged up, you want to wrap them with electrical tape for an extra layer of protection.
So connect the wires secure with wire nuts and then wrap it all up with electrical tape. Got it. It's like we're making a little electrical burrito all wrapped up and ready to go.
I like that. Now, once the wiring is all set, you can carefully attach the new fixture to the mounting bracket.
The moment of truth.
Almost. Remember, just like when we remove the old fixture, we want to be careful and avoid any damage.
No Hulk smashing the fixture into place.
Definitely not. Just carefully line up the fixture with the bracket and screw it in securely.
Got it. Gently does it. Okay, so the fixture is up. What about light bulbs?
Ah, yes. Don't forget the light bulbs. Make sure you're using the correct type and wattage for your fixture. Baboom actually has some great tips on choosing the right bulbs in their guide.
Okay, so double check the guide for light bulb recommendations. Got it.
Yeah.
I am so ready to see this new fixture in action. What's next?
Okay, the moment of truth has arrived. We've prepped our tools, said goodbye to that old fixture, conquered wire gauge, installed the mounting bracket, tackled the wiring, and now it's time to flip the switch. I'm so ready.
Me too. This is the best part.
It really is. But before we do, Baboom does have one last little reminder.
Always better to be safe. They recommend just taking a quick look around and making sure everything is still nice and secure.
Okay, so double checking the wire connections. The fixture is securely attached to the bracket, no loose screws or anything like that.
Exactly. And while you're at it, double check that you've used the correct wattage light bulbs.
Right, don't want to overload anything.
Yeah.
Okay, safety check complete. Can we turn on the lights now?
Go for it.
Here goes nothing.
What do you think?
It looks amazing. So much better than I even imagined.
Right. Nothing like that feeling of accomplishment when you see it all lit up.
Totally. I might just stand here and admire it for a few minutes. I don't blame you. But seriously, knowing that you tackled this project yourself, that's pretty awesome.
It really is. And you know what? It wasn't even that hard. Especially with the Baboom Baboom's guide. They made it so easy to follow along.
That's what we love about a good DIY guide. It makes all the difference.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've earned ourselves a little break. What do you say we go grab a coffee and admire our handiwork from afar?
Sounds like a plan.
To everyone listening, we hope you feel inspired to tackle some DIY projects of your own. And remember, if you do decide to give light fixture installation a try, be sure to tag us on social media. We'd love to see your creations. Until next time, happy DIYing!
Need top-quality electrical wire? Baboom Baboom's got you covered. Get your 6-pack today. Each combo comes in 6 different colors and a total of 600 feet of wire. Perfect for any project, and you won't find a better price in the industry. Head over to baboombaboom.com now to snag yours. That's baboombaboom.com.